Welcome, boys and girls, and everybody in between. Today, I'm gonna be showing to you one of my crazy games. Well, actually, the most crazy game I have maybe ever played. So, the game took 4 hours to be made, and it was very intense. So, let's begin on that position, which is the 17th move of the game. And it's black turn. The last white move was castle. So black has played knight d4, and myself have played f4. Sorry, I played f4. I just showed you the end, so it's not cool. So the point of f4 is just trying to weaken the knight and destabilize it. I don't know if we could say it, but it's of course because the knight is completely stuck in this square. So he played f6, to like if I take, he takes back with the pawn. So I played bishop e3 to weaken this time the pawn, and he played knight f5. Then I played bishop takes f5 abruptly, bishop takes f5 was not because just my knight bishop is threatened. It's because there was a tactic that I missed, which was after bishop takes, pawn takes, bishop d3 because the bishop is hanging by the rook. So he has to move. I take, he takes, I take, he go. Oh. Oh, wait. Just gonna. Okay, good. He takes e7 and rook e7, and I had the two. Wait, in my calculations, I took with the king, and then that was the position that I was calculating. I'm completely winning because I got the two pieces for the rook, and also like a pawn up. So that's completely winning. But the problem by taking is that he does not move here, but he can just take with the pawn and defend his bishop, and that's what I missed during those calculations, during those like all those minutes calculating on this. Well, it's not a lot, but like I was like spending 20 minutes per move to see like if that does work. And so I didn't at the end took the bishop back, took the pawn, but played rook d1 to prevent this move, because after takes in the line that I calculated, bishop d3 is very annoying. So he played rook c8, which is pretty much of a normal move, and to defend the pawn, I moved knight e2. He played bishop g4. I expected that, and so the point is that it pins the knight to the rook, and the knight is hanged. But I just saw king f2, so I just played it. He played e4, which is an interesting move. It's weakening a bit the pawn, but it's making him a pass pawn. You'll see that it was pretty much one of the most important problems I had to deal with. And I played h3 to kick out that bishop. He played bishop d7 to, and then I played b4 because obviously my plan is not to attack on the king side. It's obviously on the queen side because I got all my pieces. Also from the opening, you had like these c5 ideas, which are very important to get a pass pawn very early and destroy your opponent. Then I played b4, f5, and bishop d4. So in my mind, I was like, I am completely winning. This is sure. Why? Because black has no moves. Black has just no moves. They cannot move anything. They can just move back and forth. And so I can just get my pieces better very slowly, but surely. So he played b5 after this move, and I played c5, which is not threatening anything. Actually, it's threatening something. But like for the spoilers, that bishop e5 has moved this is in that you feel that's very weird move. You'll see a bit later. So actually, c5 is not threatening anything right now because, like, just he played h6 in the game, but like I'm not threatening the c6 because he can just move back and it's pretty equal. He can just move here and threaten the d5 pawn, and like it's pretty much equal because you cannot make forward progress. Like, yes, but it's very slow. And I didn't want that, so we played h6. But I played bishop e5, so what? So you'll tell me what is the point of giving that bishop? So I'm gonna tell it to you. By taking this bishop, by offering this bishop, I'm getting rid of that pawn. That was very annoying. Why? Because now I got 3 passed pawns connected, so they're extra strong. And I'm good. Like, these bishops are completely locked by my pawns. So that's why can't. Oh yeah, because I made it. Okay, so if he didn't take, like, because at the beginning I saw bishop e5 and I was like, oh, this is interesting, sacrificing the bishop to get all these pawns. But I was like, also, he could just not take. Like, okay, he can just not take and be okay. Actually, no, let's say he plays like a random move, then I take with the pawn. Yeah, I saw that, but like I thought that those pawns wouldn't advance early on. But if he moves his bishop anywhere, so at the end he will obviously go to f6 or d8, which are actually the main squares. If he goes to f6, then I'm not doing anything for that bishop. I'm just going rook c7. And so if he takes, I'm taking back. I got all those pawns, very strong, and I got the c-file, which is the most important thing in the game. And I'm not even down a piece now. Yeah, because he didn't took it. So if he goes here, I can just take. Sorry, I can just take. And here I still got the c-file. I still got the c-file. Let's say I move my king somewhere. Let's king here. I got the c-file and I can get to c6 very soon. And if he threatens anything, I can just do this. Like, I'm not I'm like winning. I'm just winning. It's what I calculated, but at the end he didn't do this. He took the bishop. He took the bishop, and so now we're getting into a very problematic position for black and for white. Yeah, very interesting, because black has to find something to do with his extra piece, and white has to be careful about those pawns. And black also has to find counterplay, because those pawns are just too powerful. So he played bishop g5 to do something with his pieces, but again, his bishop on d7 doesn't worth better than one of these pawns. Like, this pawn is better than this one. Why? Because those two exist. If they didn't, then it would be completely losing for white, obviously. I played rook c3. Actually, rook c2. Sorry, rook c2 was better, because then there are some lines that aren't going to be in the game. So rook c2 would be like would be good, but like it doesn't change a lot of things. So I played rook c3 and he played e3 check. I played king f1, which I think was kind of a mistake, because he has his rook that's completely lined up on my king, and they should get out of the way. So he played f4 to continue attacking, and here I was kind of in trouble, because if he takes, then I'm not that good, because he can take, get to f2, threaten everything. That's why I tried for the counterplay. You know, the best defense is the attack. I played e6, threaten the bishop. So he has actually 2 moves. Yeah, 2 moves, which are obviously, you know it. No, actually 3. Bishop bishop here, bishop takes. So bishop e8 is what he did. Bishop takes, and finally f3. So one of them is not the good move, which is bishop e8. Taking is not bad, but like it's not the best, I think. For myself, it's not the best for white, for black, sorry, because then if you push, it's not clear if you're gonna win or if white, sorry, can survive and do something with those pawns. That's what wasn't unclear. If I put the computer here, he might say just -3, sorry. Why? Because black is up a pawn at first, and those pawns are together, which is an advantage. But again, not clear for humans because I'm not a computer. And yeah, that's it. So yeah, f3 might have been like a terrible mistake. I think bishop takes was the best because takes. So king takes, obviously. And here if check, just come back. Or even come get forward. Yeah, forward is a good move. It seems to be a good move. Because if he pushes, then I just get my rook here and his rook is still... Oh, wait, I'm stupid. Just check and it's winning. Okay, that's... f3 is not good because the bishop's hanging and the rook too. So yeah, the best would have been bishop takes e6 and just like win like this. And like this is kind of terrible. So my e6 might have been a terrible mistake by myself because of bishop takes. So maybe again pawn c6 and not e6. E6, the point was that it's not giving this, but by putting that pawn, then you have a rook behind. And it's not the same thing now because this pawn is still here. The bishop doesn't have the same movements. It's like close to be the same thing, but the pawn is here and not here. Why does my mouse doesn't work? Oh, anyways. So yeah, he played bishop e8, which is probably losing because after knight d4, I have completely defended everything. So yeah, this pawn is not gonna get anywhere, and I have defended those squares. Yeah, and then so he played bishop here, and I played I played d6, and here my knight is like pinned, but it's not too much of a problem. And so he played bishop h5, rook d3. And so what is the problem of having the rook on c3 and not on c2? Now we have the response. And what is the advantage of also? If the rook was on c2, then the knight wouldn't be pinned. And so there would not be this small tactic to gain a rook. I know what you're going to say. So what was losing there? Actually, I don't think so. Those pawns are just too strong for the rook. Like those pawns worth together like 6 points of material, like minimal. Like the maximum would be like I think like it cannot worth as a queen. So I'd say 7, like 7. Those worth 7 points of material. That's a lot, I know, but like I think that's much better than the rook. So I would have gone into that line. I actually was scared and I wanted to go in that line because that was very interesting, but I was also scared. So no. And the bad things of having my rook on c2 would be that the bishop could come back and make a small fork. Yeah, small fork to gain the rooks. Oh, it play bishop d takes d4, and now obviously white is winning because well, the 3 pawns are much better than the bishop, so he played e2. But the game ended very soon. Like, actually, here that's and I forgot to mention that after bishop here rook d3, I offered a draw. That's kind of embarrassing, having offered a draw in that position. Yeah, because or you play for a win or you play for a draw, and he declined it because he's right. Like, I mean, you cannot accept a draw when like you might not be winning, but you might not be losing neither. You know. God, why is my mouse not working? It's very slow. Look. Anyways. So after bishop takes, rook takes e2, and then he played rook e8. Okay. I played e7, bishop h5, and oh, actually, funny. I promoved was rook, and then he resigned. So yeah, now I'm gonna put it with the computer. Let's put the computer here. I am better. Yeah, that was kind of normal, but I mean, it's not a big advantage. Like, this is the advantage of the opening, you know? I didn't gain or lost anything. Apparently, I should have moved. Yeah, I played bishop takes f5 because I thought there was a tactic that didn't exist. So I'm still better, but like, oh, he doesn't like king f2 apparently. What happened? What happened? Sorry. After a black move, black gains points. Are you serious? And then it's minus 0.4 now. Oh yeah, it's minus 0.4. Okay. Um, oh my god. I'm at -1. I didn't even realize I was that bad. Like e5, and then all the advantage is gone. I was right. e4 is interesting, but it's weakening everything. So h3. Now, okay, b4 is a blunder. Holy. g4. Yeah, I was saying that I had play on the queen side and not on the king side. The computer says like the opposite. So it's very funny. I played b4. Apparently it's not good. Okay. You can't tell me bishop d4 is not good. This is a genius move. Like, the computer cannot even understand how good bishop d4 is because black has no moves. I'm just building my stuff. I'm building my stuff. So what? Oh, there we go. Now it's +2. Now he understands, you know, the power. And then what does he says? Okay, you don't like it? I don't care. I don't care. This is a genius move. The 3 pawns are too strong. Okay. Okay, you see, we're coming back. And apparently king f1. Yeah, I was right. King f1 is not good. Oh, wait. Actually, it was good. But anyways. Wait. What the king f1. Okay, I was like, wait a sec. The computer doesn't know anything. He's saying minus 0.6, and after king f. Okay. And after king f1, it's -2. Okay, anyways. This is weird. I play e6 -2. I don't understand how I could be possibly that bad. Bishop h5, that's what he played. No, he played this, but it's about the same thing. So after bishop takes, obviously I'm completely winning, but already here you're just completely like oppressed. You have only 2 winnings moves, and now like obviously you played the wrong one. Oh wait, actually I want to know. E2 is bad. I knew it. I knew it. I told you that e2 was bad because like even though the rook is lost, like here, like those pawns are too strong. I think the computer doesn't like the rooks, but likes the bishops. This is weird. I gotta say, this is weird. But I prefer bishops too, so I am weird. But the computer too. but I understand him. So let's just watch the game until the end. Oh crap! +7. I was right that those pawns were much better, but like +7, I didn't thought that would have. I thought that would have been like +4 maximum. Actually, I'm well. Okay, obviously now it was pretty normal e7, and then just everything. Okay, yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching.